Hi everyone, it's Lisa Cronin from It's the Little Things in Card Making, and I'm back to show you what I've done with those backgrounds that I created in my last video. Okay, so if you remember with the foil quills, I did what I thought was a beautiful background, and I liked it so much that I said I can make 2 cards out of this. It's a pretty big image, and that's what my intention is. So for this card, it's on a card base, an A2 card base. This is 110 pound Nina Solar White, very smooth, beautiful for embossing, for heat embossing. So what I did was I mounted the image onto a piece of silver card, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a dimension. I don't know if you can see this. Let me put it in. See, it kind of lifts it up a little bit, and I like that. Then what I did was I made a silver frame. I like frames. Frames are good for several purposes. I found that they work really well to highlight an image or images. They're great for hiding things like mistakes or glue on your card. They're good for attaching things too, like vellum and that kind of thing. So I use frames quite a bit. Not on every card, but quite a bit. But I wanted to show you a little trick that I did. It's not really a trick, it's a tip. This is a very flimsy, it's a good die. Doesn't have any punch-out holes on the back. That's a problem sometimes. But it kind of moves. So sometimes when you have the back all full of glue and you're trying to get it just so, and you're a little anxious because you don't want to get glue on your project, what I do is I give myself margins. And I just thought this would be helpful because it's helpful for me. And what I do is I measure it out, I see where I want to put it, and then I give myself margins so that I know exactly where I need to lay down my frame or my image. And I do this because I really don't want glue on my project, especially if you're working with foil, because it shows up so much and it takes away from the beauty of the card. So I like really good clean cards. It shows the care that you put into them, and and they look more professional. So this is what I do, and then I'll glue up my image or my frame, and then I'll just start at one corner, put it down in the other corner, and then I can put it in all 4 corners, but that's kind of an overkill. And I'll just make sure that my line is right, and I'll probably use the card edge or edges as a guide. But when you first have to put something down, you have to know where to start, where you're going to start putting your edge down. And I just found this to be very, very helpful. And even though it takes half a minute, not even, to lay down your tape, it saves you a lot of time cleaning up excess glue. So I wanted to share that. That's one of my little tips. And this, I noticed, this end of it, because I want to make a card with this as well. And I noticed, if you look here, you'll see that there's some sprays of something, but we don't know what they are because they're not attached to anything. There's no stems. And when I saw that, I was a little kind of upset because I wanted to, have the 2 cards ready for today. And I know that I have to go back to that tracing paper, put some more foil in, and hinge it, of course, and just add whatever it is I missed. So, but as I was looking at this, I realized that this could be a beach scene. Like the straw foliage that comes up, little wisps of grass and stuff. And this pink, there are pink sandy beaches, and this looks like a little bit of the tide coming in, and water, and then a little, difference in color up here. Could be the sky. That's what I see. And that's why I get so really excited when I do backgrounds, because you don't know exactly what you're going to get until it's completely dry. You take a look at it, You see what the possibilities are. Yeah, I loved it. I loved the colors. I loved the mixture. Yeah, it could be a nice beach day. So that's my intention for this card. What I also wanted to share with you is I keep every piece of background that I cut off. And I do that for a reason. I do it because the colors and the tones are the same as the card, the card background. And if I wanted to add any kind of an element or die cut or sentiment, I have something that I can put onto the card and it doesn't look out of place. It looks like it belongs. So until I finish with a background completely, I keep every piece I cut off. And so that's a little tip also. And I don't know if I mentioned it. I don't think I did. I heat embossed the sentiment, thinking of you in all the ways you have touched my life. And that's from this Penny Black's Treasured Sentiments stamp set. This is relatively new. And the sentiments in this stamp set, they're lovely. I mean, friends like you are one of life's greatest treasures. Come on, how can you say something better than that? So anyway, yeah, be using this quite a bit. Love it, love it, love it. And I embossed it with Ranger's Superfine silver embossing powder. And it came out so smooth because of the paper that I'm using. And I have another card coming up, not necessarily in this video, but where I made the same exact sentiment on different cardstock, and it did not come out this smooth. So I just thought, we were talking about variables and how some things work better with others. Not necessarily better, but will give you a different result. That's an example of what I was talking about. You can do exactly the same things on a different paper and come out with a different result. So I love the fact that this was so smooth and simple, and I just think it's such a sweet card. Okay, so that was that one. The other background that I did, if you remember, was the Hero Arts and Pink Fresh Studios. It was the collaboration with that stamp set. And this is what it looked like when it's stamped out. And I have it on a piece of card here. Remember, I was kind of like just a little concerned that I had the wrong paper. I thought I had Bristol Smooth cardstock, which is what I had done this one on, and you can see how smooth, unblemished, and just how it blended so beautifully one color with the other. Not so much this one. I mean, it's a little splotchy, has some little splotchy marks. Tried to hide my little scratch mark that I made with the brush. Do you remember that? I think did a pretty good job. It's not very noticeable. I did a lot of work foiling this with the foil quills, and I had to use it. And it didn't come out bad. I mean, it's a pretty card. I wanted to keep it light, kind of airy. I really wanted the focus to be on the foiling. So I added a gold frame, again a frame. And I did that by using a relatively new die set from Hero Arts. They're infinity dies, and they have the rounded corners. So it's nested frame cuts, rounded rectangle, and there's 16 pieces, so I can make a lot of frames with this die set. This sentiment is an alternate sentiment, and this is another stamp set that I think has some of the loveliest sentiments. I like long sentiments. I like doing silhouette cards. I think they're the nicest things to add. This is a favorite. I'm going to probably do this on a card soon. Only in the darkness can you see the stars. This one that I put on this card, although it's light, but it's still legible, you can still read it. It says, I believe that friends are quiet angels who lift us to our feet when our wings have trouble remembering how to fly. For me, I'm conscious of the fact that everybody goes through what they go through. And it's nice when they know that there's somebody there that understands and can support them in some way. As they're going through whatever challenge they're facing. To me, this is a pretty card. It says a lot. It's sweet. And I really like the way it came out. I'm very, very happy with those backgrounds. I'm very happy with the foil quill pens. I'm coming kind of to a close on those pens. I mean, if I can figure out anything else that these pens can do, I will definitely let you know and share that information. But at this point, I think I've taken them as far as I could. Like I said, if there's anything else I can figure out, or if I do a card using them, I will definitely share that with you. Play with your foil quill pens. Play with all your supplies. See how much you can do with what you have. And I want to thank everybody for their support and their comments. People have been so kind. It's nice to know that I'm being helpful. It's nice to know that people are watching. So if you can, please like, subscribe, share, comment. If you have any questions about any of the supplies or any of the techniques, by all means, put them in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I'm going to say goodbye for now, but I want to say thank you for stopping in. And remember, it's the little things in card making. You have a good day. Bye now.